What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Haslab Transformers Legacy Deathsaurus. So this was a crowd-funded figure from Hasbro Pulse. They put this up and it ended in October of 2022. Their target was 11,000 backers. They reached 27,400 backers, so it was definitely back. They got all the unlocks. And this is actually the second figure. The first one we got from the Victory line was their Victory Star Saber figure. And now we have his nemesis, Deathsaurus, here. So a lot of happy fans out there. This was sent to me by Dr. Diecast, who is very kind enough to allow me to take a look at his copy. So I appreciate that. We'll get into this figure. I am excited to take a look at it. Just because anytime we look at a Haslab figure, there's always some special things available in there. But let's take a look at some of the details on this guy. You get some really nice paint details. The face is painted silver with a little bit of red over the eyes, red up here on the top. You got the metallic gold for the crest, and then red and then black here on the sides of the face. Really nicely detailed helmet. Blue and black paint here on the chest, which will probably be hiding away because we're going to put the chest masters here, or the power masters. Black, white, red, and gold paint on the shoulder. Gold and light blue paint here, red paint here. On the back of the shoulder, we've got a little bit of detail. Black with light blue and red in there. The wings have a red piece of plastic here with black accents on top, and then a Tampo Decepticon logo. There's the back of it. You can see that red plastic. A little bit of black paint here. We'll look at the head more in the bird mode. Coming down to the waist, you have red and silver here. I'm not sure if this is painted. The hands feel like they're painted in a matte black, but I'm not quite sure if that's paint or the plastic itself. Coming down to the feet, the legs, you have gold here with red and black, blue paint here on top of this gray plastic, gold paint here, and all of that looks really nice. Let's take a look at the articulation. The head's on a rotating swivel, goes up to there, down to there. Don't really get side to side. It does rotate. It doesn't rotate all the way around. It kind of gets stuck right there. So, I'm not sure what's stopping it, but that's basically as far as it goes without me forcing it. Not my copy, so I don't want to do anything damage to it. Coming to the wings, you can fold them forward and backwards, kind of get them out of the way. They also lift up, so that's really nice for posing, and nice tolerances everywhere. Shoulders rotate around on a ratchet joint. Out to the side on friction, but nicely tolerance there. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you have a butterfly joint here, which really helps with the posing with some of the weapons, because you get that really wide butterfly joint. Rotation at the bicep. Single joint to elbow gets you a little past 90 degrees, just about. Rotation at the wrist. Fingers are on a pin, but the top two fingers are separate, so you can pose them like that. Or like that. I don't know why you would do that, but you can get a little bit of posing out of this just because the two fingers are separate. Coming down to the waist, you have a waist rotation here. You do have an ab crunch. It's pretty small. It gets basically that much. A little tilt up to there. Coming down to the legs, you have hip skirts on the front and the sides. Legs go up to there on a ratchet. Back to there on a ratchet. Up to the side on a ratchet. I'm glad they put a ratchet there, because sometimes the weight will cause it to go, do the splits. So I'm happy when they do stuff like that. For the knee, you get a 90-degree bend. If you unlock this, you get a little bit more. It is a double joint, and you can get it further if you unlock that joint. And I'll show you that a bit later, because we're going to be using that. Ankle tilts, and you have a toe tilt down. All right, now let's go over the chest masters or power masters, whatever you want to call them. This one, the eagle chest, has some blue paint, silver, and black paint. Nice Decepticon template logo, and then on the back, a little bit of black and gold. Looks very nice. This will fit into the chest. You can put it kind of almost all the way in. Just right there, there's some stopping points. And you can have this look. I think that looks really nice. Nice color scheme. But he is intended to go in one more if you prefer to have the other chest piece there. I like that. We can push this in. Then we can bring in tiger chest. And tiger chest has these wings, and I did show in the unboxing you do have to install these wings. They're fingerprint magnets. I recommend having something to wipe it down after you pose it, because it's just constantly getting fingerprints. But this has red paint, a little bit of black paint here, Decepticon logo, red paint here. And here's how it looks on the back. And this is going to fit into here and kind of clip in place. So get the top in and then just clip that into place. The head will sit down there. That's really nice looking. Very nice touch on that piece by Takara and Hasbro. Now, we can also transform these guys. So if you take this one out, and to pop this out, you're going to come to the back here, lift this up, just push from here with your finger. That's the easiest way to get it out, and then you can put this back down. And now we can transform this guy. Go ahead and flip the wings out. Flip out these inner wings on these pins. And it's got nice tolerances again on these. Fold out the guns. Fold out the tail. Fold out the head. Fold down the legs, the feet. And there you go. There is Eagle Chest in his bird mode. It looks really good. You can pose it. You can, kind of move the wings however you like. So you can be flying. You can also pose the feet. They rotate here on a ball joint, and then a pin here for the feet. So you can kind of get him standing up if you want. The neck will rotate up and down, and then there's a joint right here, a pin that will rotate up and down. You can open the mouth. I recommend a spudger to get in here because it's a little tight. But if we get in here, you can open up the mouth that much. I think that looks really good. But let's set him aside and take a look at Eagle Chest. So Eagle Chest, these wings were separate in the package. I did show the installation during the unboxing, but let's get him transformed. Go ahead and we're going to flip the legs up. Rotate the wings out until they click into place, and then fold these legs up and then back. You can straighten these up. Fold out the front paws from here. Then you push the wings back in. Fold these upwards. Pull the head out. It just goes up to there. Open up the mouth just for a different look. And then last step, go ahead and lift up here. Fold down this and then accordion this out. Close that up. And there you have Tiger Chest in Tiger mode. Looks pretty good. You got a little bit of red paint there for the eyes. Articulation wise, the head goes up and down. The jaw opens up and closes like I showed you. The head can go side to side a little bit because of that ball joint. Legs can go forward on the ball joint up to there, back to there. And then the knees can bend on that pin. Same for the back legs. Hinged goes all the way back to there, and then knees are on a pin. The tail can fold down and up. You can kind of display that how you like. Now I do get a ton of other accessories, and we'll bring in the display throne here, which is kind of the really special piece of this. It does come with this base. It is done in swirly gray plastic, which I never really like, but I don't really care too much because it's on the bottom at least. The seat itself has a little bit of a gradient. You can unplug this from here. It's just plugged in with the 4 pegs. I showed that. But if you look at the back of the seat, everything stores here, all the accessories. We're going to take a look at those in just a minute. But you can take this and we can slide this adapter onto here. And then this will plug into his back right here. And now you can use this display stand on its own for, more aggressive poses or whatever. Flying poses, jumping poses. That's a really nice touch there. But let's use it for the main purpose, which is the throne. So if we get the throne plugged back into here. We can take this guy and fold his arms up like that. We can take the legs, rotate up the hip skirts, and then we're going to rotate the legs up, open up this knee pad, and then fold the legs all the way down. And that actually gets that second joint, and you need that in order to put it on the chair. But make sure you've extended it all the way. All right, same on this one. Rotate that leg all the way up, open up the knee, and have it extended down. So it looks something like this. And on the back here, you'll see that he's got two little tabs, and there's two little slots right here on the back of the seat. So those tabs are going to slide into those, and then the horns on his bird mode head are going to slide into this slot on the back of the seat. So all of that helps to secure him in this throne. And then you can just get the feet flat on the ground or on the base. But that's a really nice looking option for display. I think people who got this is one of the draws, is the display factor with this is very, very cool. But that's not all. You can take the bird mode here, or the eagle chest, and he's got two little holes in the bottom of the feet, and those will fit into these tabs on the top of the throne. So if we come to here, and it's hard to line it up, you kind of have to look carefully, which I'm doing it from the back. Get those plugged in. It's a little tricky to get it perfectly, but you could do that, and now you can be displaying him with eagle chest. And that's just such a cool little touch. You know, they didn't have to do that. All right, and we also get a bunch of accessories on the back of throne here, so I'm just going to show you those in order of how they released from here. So this one just pegs in right there. And this is actually the shield, and this can be attached right here using this port on a shoulder. So you can have that look, or you can use the adapter right here to attach this, and then this can be used in the hand as an actual shield. So it's just a peg style. You can get that into the hand, and now you have that look. Personally, not my favorite, but it is something you can do. But for now, we'll leave this on his arm over here. And we can take out this. We don't need this right now. Use his sword, done in silver, gold, and then red plastic. And this will plug into his hand as well, same way as this shield. So you can't have a shield and the sword at the same time if you want. Different hands, obviously. That looks nice. And by the way, this can store on his backpack. So right here is a little angled storage point. So you can get it plugged in like that and stored on his back. I thought that was a really cool option for display. We also get the mace, which is attached right here on the top, little slot and a peg. And we're going to take this off. This arrow is stored right here, a little slot right for it. But I'm going to take this handle off, but here's the mace. The handle, the mace ball itself is painted silver or gunmetal. The rest is just a plastic. But again, he can hold this, and you can kind of have him maybe holding the other part of the chain or whatever, however you want to display it. But there you go. You can also grab the gun from back here, and that's it for accessories. So we'll just slide this away for a minute. And this will open up. You want to fold it down here, bring it up, and then it tabs in. It's a really secure tab. So it looks like that. And this will fit in a couple different places. We can take off this shield for now. close that up. But we can take the arm, and if you have the chest piece on, you can just fold that up, bring the arm up, bring the hand forward, and this will fit right into the hand. Again, another tab piece right here. And then there's 2 pegs on the back, these little blue pegs, and they're fitted to the top of the arm. So get those plugged in to the top of the arm, and that actually secures it very nicely. He really holds on to this very securely, but it's really long. So kind of the only way for him to really shoot, actually fire it, is to hold it up like this. And you can pose these little armatures here. And this one on the top too. That's a really good looking gun. All right, before I forget, let's take a look at these mini cons. So we have Boater and Peepo. Interesting names. It does actually have paint. It's a light blue paint here. And it does look kind of like a boat. And of course you can transform him. You can bring the legs down. Bring the arms down. They're on ball joints. They will pop off if you're not careful. Go ahead and fold this back to the backpack. And then take the feet and fold these back. There's Boater in his robot mode. It's considerable amount of paint. You got gray, silver for the face, blue for the eyes, red paint here, white paint. Looks pretty good. Arms are on a ball joint. They do pop off relatively easily, but they did paint the hands at least. So that's nice. Legs go up to there, back to there, out to the side. 90-degree bend at the knee. And the head can rotate. Now let's take a look at Peepo. Little ambulance. He has painted red for the emergency lights and then blue all the way around for the glass. And let's get him transformed. The legs will fold down. And then you can fold out the feet. Arms, same thing as the other one. They're going to fold and see it, like I mentioned, they're on ball joints, so they like to pop off, but you're going to unplug it from the side. The force required to unplug it from the side is enough to pull it off the ball joints. It's kind of silly, but there is Peepo. It's got red paint, Autobot tempo though there, silver for the face, blue for the eyes. Arms are on ball joints. Legs will look up to there, back to there, not very far, out to the side a little bit, 90-degree bend at the knee, and then a toe tilt. And yeah, they are what they are. All right, and the final accessory here is his bow and arrow, which requires us to remove this chest, so that's why I kind of saved it for last. But go ahead and detach this chest piece, and if you want, you can put the eagle chest in there if you want, or just leave it like that. We'll leave it like that for now. Come to the bottom here. We're going to open up this panel, fold this forward. There's a little tab here that's going to work its way into the bottom of his head. So get that plugged in. That just secures right there. Open up your wings and then make sure they tab into this outer position. And then there's 2 pegs here. They're going to fit into the side of his arm right here and here. So I recommend getting the arm out to the side first and then bringing this arm up and over before you attach it, because otherwise you're going to have a hard time, posing it. But you can have this kind of set up like this, kind of ready to go. And if you need more space, you can just push that wing back a little bit more. And then go ahead and bring this in. You're going to push down on this bottom blue part, which will allow you to flip open this tab. And then go ahead and get this plugged in. And actually, before we do that, we're going to get the arrow on. So there's a little tab right here, like that. And then we'll get this plugged in using these 2 tabs right here. And then now you can kind of adjust the arms to make it look more believable that he's actually shooting this arrow. Something like that. That's a really nice look. I think this is pretty smart. And they also worked in the articulation, so you could actually do it. But that's a good look. and just a smart engineering behind that. But yeah, there you go. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Earthrise Optimus Prime and the Commander Class Shattered Glass Jetfire. And I was kind of surprised. It's actually smaller than the Commander Class Jetfire, which I think is a roughly $80 or $90 price point. This is a $200 price point. And we'll talk about it a little bit more in the final thoughts, but it never fails that somebody asks for a weight on these things. So just to compare, Commander Class Jetfire comes in at 1 pound and 9 ounces, or 697 grams. And the Haslab Deathsaurus comes in at 634 grams, or 1 pound 7 ounces. So it is lighter and smaller than the Commander Class Jetfire. Obviously different features and accessories, but there you go for comparison. Alright, now let's get him transformed into his bird mode. And you can leave this on here if you want to. I recommend removing it because it's going to get scratched up, so you just want to keep that safe. So set that aside for now, and we'll work on the arms. So go ahead and open up these panels. You can just grab this tab right here as a leverage point and open that up. You're going to fold the leg from the back here forward, which will make the hand go in. Then you can fold the hand in, close up this panel, rotate the foot around, and then bring that back down. And that can just kind of sit right there. We're going to rotate this around, and then we're going to collapse the arm down. And then we can do the same thing on this side. All right, now that we have the arms taken care of, we can take care of the upper chest and body here. So I'm going to leave this one in here, but I'll come to the back here, open these up. You can pull this upwards, open up this panel right here. And I must have left this during the review, but these ears collapse in just a little bit. So I had it like that. You want them out for robot mode. Well, I'm not going to go back and refilm all that. Go ahead and fold this over. This is going to fit over the head. Tab in right here. And then you can close this down and tab this panel in. Bring this up, and you just leave that there for now. Come to the back here, and we'll take care of this piece. So open up these panels here. These are going to accordion to the inside, so double hinge, and they're just on friction fit, so they can pop off. But then these are going to flip up and tab in right there. Right, so it should look like that. Come to the legs here, we can lift up on these hip skirt panels so they sit out like that. Come to the bottom of the legs, we're going to fold up the heel spurs. Open up this panel right here on the inside of the leg. Open this up. Bring this down, it's going to tab into here. Open this up. Then we're going to take the entire leg and we're going to open up this knee. Flip this around all the way. This foot's going to end up sitting like this at an angle on the back. So that's how it should look. Come to this side and make sure this hip skirt made its way inside. That should kind of cover down right there. This is going to come down and tab back in and close up on that foot, on that leg. All right, so go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. All right, once we have both legs done, you can come back to here. You can just close these down on top. And we'll take care of all of this. So go ahead and unpeg the arms from here. There's two tabs holding it. They're pretty strong. We're going to bring this down, unpeg the wing, and coordinate it back into that position. Come to this side, take this mini arms here, fold that back, and tab that in. You can just fold that forward for now. And then do the same thing on this side. All right, now we got both wings and the little dino arms out. You're going to take this panel here. This is going to rotate around on this joint right here. And you can kind of see where it fits in. Make sure this is straight. The waist part should be straight. And it's going to tab into the side down here. So get this pegged in. Bring this down. Same on this side. Rotate this around, bring this down. Tab it in, bring the leg down. And we can now attach the Chessmaster back on. Let's go ahead and grab this, just fold the wings up, just kind of put them straight. And then it's going to peg right back in. So, like I mentioned, you could leave it there, but just to save the plastic, I would take them off. And then you can kind of bend the wings back up until they kind of meet up with that chess piece. All right, and there we have Deathsaurus in his infamous Space Chicken mode. And it does have some nice looking paint and detail on it. We got gold paint here for the beak, red for the eyes. There's a little bit of swirly white plastic, the neck piece here, and then some swirly gray here. Specifically, this tail section is all swirly gray plastic. It's got a little bit of black in there, and a little bit of blue. But a lot of the swirly gray shows up here in this bird mode. Here's the back. Pretty neat. You get some nice articulation. The head can go all the way down to there, up to there. There's a separate cover down piece here, so you can kind of keep covering that neck part no matter where you have the head. It goes up to there. The mouth can open all the way like that. And we can use the blast effect parts, which I haven't been showing you, but we can use these. It comes with 6 pieces, just like all of the other Commander class figures. So you can kind of assemble it like this, and then make a bigger one, and get that in here. And it might be too big, but no, that works. So you could do that. That's pretty nice. Nice inclusion to have it, you know. By the way, we could use those same blast effects here on this gun. I forgot to show it, but you can do that, and that looks really good. Fitment is nice and tight as well. Continuing on, the arms are on a rotating swivel, so it goes out to there, rotates all the way around. A little bit on the loose side, but it works okay because it's very light. And then an elbow joint there. Nothing at the fingers, which we don't really generally get finger articulation on these things. Wings are the same, although they're a little bit hindered if you have the lion chest installed, because it can only go up to there. If you take this off, you can go more. But with those on there, you really can't go any further than that, even if you bend these inwards. But you can also lift them up and out, so you can get kind of a posed wing look. I like to have them a little bit up and out. Legs rotate around on this joint. You can get out to the side, but you can't use the tilts here, so it doesn't really gain you anything. You have a knee bend here, and then you have a toe tilt here, so you can get him, you know, chicken-legged if you want. And we can use the accessory here in bird mode, the gun. There's a tab right here. It's going to fit into a slot. The slot's actually angled back, so it can fit right between here. That was a nice, smart design. So if you get this lined up, just be careful not to scratch up the gold paint. And then give it a really firm push. It pegs in right there. On the inside of the arm, you see a slot. That slot will fit onto the side of the handle. So you can actually hold the handle in bird mode as if he's holding the gun. I thought that was kind of smart. That's about as high as you can get him to go. It's just the way the tail is positioned. It starts flattening out or bottoming me out. So you really can't have it upwards more than this. So he's kind of shooting the ground, basically. It's okay. It's standing up like this. That's the only way we can pose it. But you can attach him to the stand, and that'll help. So bringing in the stand, you're gonna, instead of doing it this way like we did before, you're gonna go this way. And there's this adapter piece. So this is just gonna plug in like so. There's a little tab and a notch, and that's going to fit right here under the belly. So get that lined up on there. And now you've got this, not quite the best with the gun. So if we remove the gun, you can have him posed kind of like flying or whatever. So you have that display option as well. And we can also come to the back of the feet here. And there's 2 little peg spots on the bottom of the feet. So you can do that. There you go. Kind of a flying bird mode. So final recommendations on the Haslab Transformers Legacy Deathsaurus. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it. I think this is a pretty good figure. I like the robot mode a lot. I think there's a lot of playability and posability for a big guy like this. Plenty of display options. You can have him on the stand. You can have him in the chair. You can have him using the gun or the bow and arrow or the shield or the sword. There's lots and lots of options. I really like that there's a lot of flexibility in how you want to display him. There is some nice deco on him. There's a couple of spots where there's some swirly gray, like on the shield, on the legs, but overall the deco stands out nicely in both the robot mode and in the bird mode. So I like that. Only negatives I really have is in the bird mode, the tail is fixed, so you can't pose it, which limits how much you can pose the legs, right? Because you got that flat part on the bottom. And the legs themselves, they don't have ratchets in the feet or in the knees. So as you're posing it, it does occasionally fall as you're trying to pose it. It would have been nice if they had some ratchets built in there. But that's really my only complaints with this guy. I think they did a good job. Now, is it worth the price tag is the other question of $200, give or take, depending on shipping for you. I'm not sure. It feels like a commander class figure. Jetfire, which I brought in for a comparison, is about the same size, has similar accessories, minus maybe the stand, the display stand, and the throne. It's got blast effects, it's got the guns, it's got the backpack, it's got the mask. So, it's got similar kinds of accessories with the exception to the stand. But yet, the price point is about half, right? It's around $90 when it came out, I think it was $80. Now I think the Commander class is $90. So, I don't know. I don't know if the premium is there for this. But if you're a fan of this character, this is definitely a must-have. I think it's a great figure. I just don't know if it's $200 great, but it is a great figure. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.